Okay, so that's food. So how about, so is there any food that you particularly miss from home, Ian? That you sometimes
Sunday roast dinner.
Right.
Yeah.
And do you ever make it here or try?
No. We don't have an oven.
I was going to say, it's hard because most people don't have ovens here.
No, scones.
You've got a little tiny one. Scones!
Yeah, scones with cream and jam.
Scones,
and Sunday dinner,
teas.
Sunday roast. And I used to, like every Friday night after teaching in the high school all week, I'd go home and I'd be knackered. And I'd get some beers in, and I'd always have a Chinese takeout every Friday night. Watch a rugby on the TV, sit down on my own with a big Chinese takeout or an Indian takeout. I miss that.
Yeah, it's those little customs, isn't it? Those little things. Yeah.
Because Japanese
Christmas
don't know
pudding.
what Chinese curry is, you know that?
Oh, they don't know
Christmas
what
pudding and
Chinese
mince
curry.
pies.
Yeah,
Really.
well, Christmas stuff as well.
Christmas pudding.
Yeah.
Do you like Christmas pudding?
I don't. Is it the ones with
The
a
black
lot
one
of,
with the fruits in that you
that's
light it up.
disgusting.
And, all right, so that's interesting. So you are Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I think probably it's not like anything that you get here. So I mean, it's an acquired taste in England as well, isn't it? Like Marmite and you know lots of things.
Yeah, a lot of things are an acquired taste.
Yeah,
aren't they?
definitely. But there you go. How about Japanese customs and anything that you found very different here or very strange or?
Customs? Well...
I mean, not as in immigration, but as in habits or...
Yeah, well... it's... the men are not very polite. So I'm quite popular because I always say, I open the door and say, ladies first.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, I say, I'm English gentleman.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
So I play that card.
Yeah.
Always play that card, you know? Because all the Japanese men are going to be having to go at me here. But it's true, isn't it? I mean, it's like, you know, so, you see people walking down the street and the wife is walking like 6 foot behind the man and things. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's the other way around, isn't it, in England?
You know, most of us in English, most of the men are under the thumb of the woman, you know. We are controlled by the women.
So what do you feel about that? Which one do you like?
Well, I like being in control, so this one.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's good, yeah. So you make sure that you get the next generation of guys to be all nice and polite.
Oh, I'm not going to live in Japan in the future.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, well, that's one way of dealing with it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that was the main thing or anything else?
Customs.
Because obviously, I mean, you have quite a Japanese life. Your wife is Japanese and you quite...
Customs.
Japanese style life, I guess, but...
Yeah.
Or is there anything that your dad does that's kind of like British custom that you think, oh, that's really strange? Or you did...
Has a cup of tea every day.
Ah, yeah, that's very British, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got to have a cup of tea every morning, you know.
But he never takes a bath.
Never takes a bath?
Oh, no.
I wonder what the smell is now.
I mean, like, he only takes showers.
Okay, right.
Not in a bathtub, you know.
Right, really? How was it? Does not go to onsen?
I love onsen.
Okay.
I go to the onsen every week.
Okay.
I have a bath once a week.
Oh, okay.
So is that because you don't have a bath then? You just...
Oh, we do have a bath.
Yeah.
But I just can't be bothered to have a bath. It's functional. I got to get in there, wash my body and get out.
Right.
You know, if I want to soak, I go to the onsen. And I have a real soak with the jet spas and the electric bath and all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
So I love onsens, you know.
You recommend onsens,
Yeah.
Yeah, but so yeah, I mean, is that a custom? I love onsens, you know. I mean, but
there was nothing you thought, oh gosh, that's really strange or really different or really unusual or nothing that sort of is very, very different to.
Is that a custom?
No, it's not really a custom, is it?
It's
you
not,
know, but no, I can't think of anything that really stands out or you know, it's no. We kind of sort of join in with most of the Japanese customs when they come around, but
warm toilets. No, that's not a custom.
Not a custom, is it?
Oh, but yeah, the toilets are great. Yeah,
Things we like and dislike in Japan. Yeah, but
But yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's another thing. So okay,
I don't
what
know
do you
about-
like and dislike?
We have a rule in my house that the 3 words you're not allowed to say, which is tai hen, which means hard,
Yeah.
and muri, which means
Very.
impossible,
I have that rule too.
and tabun, which means maybe. You cannot say those 3 words in my house in Japanese,
Right.
because
Japanese people say them all
all
the
the
time.
time, and it's negative thinking. And
Yeah.
I'm always telling my kids, we think positively.
Yeah.
So every time you say one of those 3 words, you're just making something negative, and
Or procrastinating. That's a
and
good one.
and tabun in Japanese probably translates to 80% no, I'm not going to do it. Right? So you're
It's
going to
not
come.
really,
Are you
maybe
coming to my
it's-
party on Saturday night? Tabun. Okay, you're not coming.
No, yeah. When you've been here a while, you know it means no, and they're just being polite. But of course, when you first get here, you're like, oh, well, maybe they'll come, and it's like you're sitting there and like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so,
I totally
So
agree.
that's those 3 words are not allowed in my house because we try and think positively.
And your wife's
And-
okay with that.
Oh, she says tabun all the time, doesn't she? So I go no. I just say yes or no. Which is it? Yes or no. Say one or the other. And the other thing that's frustrated me in business in particular. I love everything about Japan. I love Japanese people. I love living in Japan. But if there's one thing that frustrates me, it's the lack of directness.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So to give an example, I might create a new product in the education system and then go to a company and say, I have this great product that I want to market and have it made, blah, blah, blah. And I'll do my presentation, and the presentation goes fantastic, and they're saying, "Whoa, this is so fantastic. You're so smart. We absolutely love it. This is great. Wow, yeah, isn't this fantastic?" And then they see me out, and I go out feeling like Elon Musk. 2 days later, you get the message saying we're not interested. So I go, what was all that about? That was the best presentation I ever did.
Yeah.
They made me feel like Elon Musk, and then a day later said, no, thank you,
Yeah.
via email or so things like that, like blowing smoke up your ass, gets on my nerves a little bit.
And that is a part of the culture, isn't
Just
it?
tell me
Because-
straight, yes or no. I want it or I don't want it. You're not going to make me cry. It's okay. I'm a big boy, but
But
don't.
that's not how they are, is it?
No.
That's not.
So
how
that's
they-
one thing that frustrates me. Is that people don't tell you. They tell you what you want to hear,
Yeah.
not what they're really thinking.
So do you understand that, or do you feel that's like, oh, you should make a big thing about that, or how do you feel about that? Laura? It's just interesting to me, as you've been brought up in Japan, and
I think people are more considerate about other people's feelings.
right,
But personally, I don't like that all the time because if you're just feeding into people's delusions, it's just not nice for you or for them. So personally, I don't like to lie, but that's the Japanese custom, and that's just how it works. So I just accept it.
you have to accept it because you're in Japan, and we accept it because we're in Japan. But I mean, I was asking you what you don't like, so fair enough, and I
Another
understand that.
example would be recently we've been negotiating for stuff on the house, like buying new kitchens, and I asked a question in the meeting. Well, okay, so this is the price for the for fitting the kitchen. So is there any extra? Is that the full price? And then I get a response. Yeah, there's an extra 100,000 for doing this. And also another 30,000 for delivery. And I feel like saying, what are you smiling for? What are you laughing? What are you laughing for? You just add an extra 130,000.
And why didn't you
onto
just
it.
tell me at the beginning?
And,
It's going to be.
and you got a big smiley face, like as if it's good news you're delivering to me. It's not good news. So this kind of thing frustrates me.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I guess there's something about everywhere. So have you had any mishaps or interesting or omoshiroi adventures during your life in Japan?
Oh, ones that I can talk about.
Well,
I was in Kobe staying in a hotel and the swimming pool is on the top floor.
Right.
That hotel looks like a boat. And, and there was an earthquake.
Oh no.
And the whole hotel was rocking.
Wow.
And they said you can't use the elevators and you could never walk down from the top floor. All the water was swishing over the swimming pool and flooding the changing rooms and everything. And we just had to stand there and hope. They said, "Oh, in the last big earthquake, this building didn't fall down. It was
It's still here. You're lucky.
Maybe it was weakened. I hope it doesn't fall down this time, you know." So yeah, it's pretty scary because the whole building was just going like that, you know.
But it's good though, isn't it? It rock because if it rocks, it means that they built it.
But
on the,
just like you just don't. Is it going to collapse? Or it's like it's pretty scary.
Yeah, it is scary.
And
that can be scary. I mean, I think if you're in Japan and you've never had, felt an earthquake, because obviously in England, I think there was the first earthquake for like 200 years or something, and it was like about 3 or 4 on the scale, and everyone was like, "Oh my god!" But yeah, I mean, they are pretty common. Well, I would say pretty common. I mean, they do happen, don't they?
And also, one of the biggest events was, and it's a really terrible story actually. I was with my father in Tokyo. What's the electrics place in Tokyo?
Akihabara.
Akihabara. About 15, 20 years ago, when that guy drove his car into the middle of the junction.
Oh God, yeah.
Jumped out with a couple of knives and started killing people, and me and my father were there.
Oh my God!
We were walking up to the junction, and my father stopped to look in a camera shop, which delayed us by about a minute, and we carried on walking. And we got to the junction, and all these people were lying on the ground, and there was blood everywhere.
Oh my gosh!
And we just going, "What just happened here?"
Wow!
And we were there. We were the first people there, basically.
Gosh! And if you'd have been a minute
earlier, we would have been crossing the road as he was. Wow. Oh, so that was.
I have to say, Japan is a very, very safe country. If you are thinking of coming here, it's a very safe country, and that's one of those, something like that.
That was it's a terrible story, but it's a big thing that happened in my life, and I woke up that night. I bolt upright, like with a a nightmare thing, like panic because of
what probably affect you for a while, didn't it?
Was the police there when you arrived?
They were only starting to arrive, right? And the funny thing was, we didn't know what had happened. We could see what was in front of us. But I immediately called your mother and said, "I'm standing in the middle of Akihabara and there's people all lying over the floor here and blood everywhere. Do you know what's going on?" And she said, "Yeah." And she told me the story because it was live on the news.
Yeah.
So she knew more than I did. Right. I was there. But did you know that?
Where was the guy when you arrived?
He had just run away.
Oh gosh. God,
luckily, he had run away, and then the police did get him. But
oh my God.
that was a scary story. That was, but actually happened. So, But one of the things one of the reasons I love living in Japan is because it is such a safe country.
Yeah.
Touch wood.
Yeah. You can walk around. I mean, for us as women at night, you can walk around at night, and it's.
I mean, you see little girls, elementary school girls. Catching the train, back and forward to school every day, and coming home when it's like dusk. Never in any other country would you do that.
No, you don't go out.
No. So that's one great thing about Japan.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, in the countryside and that they leave the doors open, and people go to the convenience stores and leave their cars running.
So when I first came here, I stayed with my mate who's a rugby coach. You'd never lock the door of his apartment.
No,
never locked his car, nothing.
Yeah.
It's just like, leave it all open.
Yeah.
Crazy.
One of the bizarre things that I remember thinking was people will go out in sort of their pyjamas and then like their slippers and things to the convenience stores and that. And it's like, you can wear anything you like here. I mean, it's such a, anything goes. It's like people in their pyjamas and slippers. I was like, that really shocked me.
Yeah.
I was quite surprised.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that in England, would you? I mean, unless you were sort of certified.
No. Never been. Wouldn't have seen dead in my pajamas. But it's Japanese custom, for the old men to go out in pajamas, walk around.
And the Hello Kitty slippers. Yeah, anything goes. So, what's your favourite place in Japan, Ian? Do you have one?
Our home.
That's your favourite place?
Our new home will be from next month. I like Miyazaki down in Kyushu because
I'm
I
not
spend a
been-
lot of time down there, surfing contests and things. And the reason I like it is that you got the mountains here with beautiful waterfalls, and you can go naked bathing and stuff in the night and drink beer in these pools with the water coming into it and everything.
That sounds nice.
And we're camping. And then you go down and you've got the town, lots of drinking bars and stuff and beautiful restaurants. And then right close to it is the beach. So it's like you've got mountains, a really lively town, and the beach kind of all really close. Everything's
Yes,
there.
you've got everything you need. Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh, that's
and,
good.
it's a
Yeah.
beautiful area. So
Beautiful,
that's
but-
one of the places that I really like. And I spend a lot of time in Irago, in Aichi-ken, and down in Iseshima.
And there's lots of beautiful beaches.
Yeah, all the
and-
beaches are beautiful, you know. So, what about you? Do you have a favourite place?
Like my hometown around here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How about have you been to any other countries? You've been to England, yes, and Wales.
Yeah, I've only been to the UK, and my favorite place in the UK is probably Swansea. Cause I don't know, maybe I'm I'm brainwashed because he always says it's the most beautiful place on earth, but I think he does have a point. It is very
It
beautiful.
also has beautiful beaches as well, doesn't it? Beautiful
Yeah.
coastal.
And like the atmosphere is just very friendly, and I don't really know about Swansea. I've only been there a few times, but the few times I have been there, I thought it was quite beautiful.
You know, the Gower, where we grew up, Mumbles and the Gower, was the first place in Britain to be designated a place of outstanding natural beauty.
Oh, really?
That's how
Wow.
beautiful the Gower is. I mean, and to quote Dylan Thomas, he said, Swansea is the graveyard of all ambition.
Right.
Because once you go there, that's it.
Wow.
You just don't want to do anything. Just have fun.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's on my bucket list then.
But if you put the weather there,
yeah.
it would be the best place in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's the only thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, the weather. So yeah. Wow. So is there anywhere else anywhere you'd really like to go?
Oh, right now I want to go to the south of France and Italy.
Italy's great.
Yeah, because I've always wanted to go to other places in Europe, and maybe I can soon. So
Yeah.
you
Hopefully.
never know. Yeah.
Well, if you go to school in Britain, you can go
Yeah.
anywhere. In
Well, her
Europe
first
very
choice is Atlantic College in Lantwood Major.
It's
Avail-
not my
available
first
more.
choice.
Well, it can't be, can it? Right?
Yeah.
Because all the princes and princesses go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but it's the one place.
Well,
it was-
you could be a princess, a
it was-
Japanese princess. They wouldn't.
Yeah, but she doesn't have a father with princess money, unfortunately. So it was the original UWC college,
Yeah.
United World College, and that's why they don't provide 100% scholarships or 80% scholarships. It's mega
You
mega
gotta
bucks.
have-
So
yeah.
unfortunately, I lived right close to it,
Right.
next
Yeah.
door to it, 5 minutes. I'd love her to go there, but it doesn't look as though she'll get there.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah, but I do have the option of Tanzania. Is that how you pronounce it?
Tanzania. Wow.
Tanzania, India, America, in New Mexico,
Oh wow.
America, and Holland, and what was the other place?
Can't remember, but none of those thrill me. much.
Germany.
Well, Germany's good. I'm half German.
I would
so
go
have
for
to say
Germany
that.
or Holland, but like some of those other places, I'm not sure.
Germany is good and has a very good, depending on where you go, a lot of
Yeah.
students. So a good student nightlife and a good student life. Lots of things to
Yeah.
do.
Drinking.
Yeah, Holland's good as well. Holland's great. They're both beautiful places and they're both, fairly safe places. And,
Yeah.
It's very relaxing.
And
in
they
Holland.
speak English.
It's very relaxing in Holland, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You
Yeah,
can
very
just sit
laid
in the
back.
cafe and
Very laid back.
relax.
You like cycling? Because they all cycle.
Cycling. Oh, I mean, I could start. Yeah.
Talking about colleges, universities, she's wearing my college jumper. Cardiff College, King Coed in Cardiff, which is now the University of Wales, where many famous athletes and rugby players came from. So that sweater must be 40 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not giving my age away.
Yeah.
Well, quality lasts, as they say.
Yeah. And he got in here even though he failed all of his A levels. Can I say that?
You just did, I think.
So how did you manage that one then?
I was the last year to get
Yeah.
into university without having to have A levels.
Really?
So
Oh yeah,
lucky.
much older than me then.
So, yeah, I was really lucky, but I kind of been like a slow starter at everything I've done. I've done
Yeah.
it after everyone else, but I normally do it either as good, if not better, but I do it after everyone else. It's
Right.
kind of the way I've been,
Yeah.
you know. I'm still doing that now. I'm getting better
only
at
went
something.
up.
Yeah, I'm still going up,
Yeah.
but years after other people peaked.
Yeah. But that doesn't matter, does it?
No, as long as you get there in the end,
Exactly.
you know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I think, you know. So,
My dad's smart. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
well, in some ways.
Well, he's got you, so he must be smart. Because you're pretty smart.
Well, she's very much like me. You
Right.
see. So I have
In
a son as
character,
well,
yeah.
JJ, and he's very much like his mother, aren't
Okay.
they?
Yeah.
They're like two peas in a pod, and we are like two peas in a pod as well. So
So does that cause any friction in the household?
Yeah.
Do you argue? Or?
unfortunately, yeah, like my wife is so gentle and nice and otonashi, quiet, and JJ's like that. my son.
Yeah.
But she has all the Welsh fire in her, the Welsh dragon fire that she inherited from me. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like, it's good and bad, right? Because she's got ambition and drive and entrepreneurial spirit, but it causes friction sometimes, you know. And when you got two people exactly the same,
Yeah, sure.
you know, so sometimes we clash over
So
things.
who do you fight? Do you fight most with each other? Would you say? Who do you fight most with in your? Yeah, because you're so similar. It's often the case.
Well,
Yeah.
Mama doesn't fight, does she?
No,
She just
she
goes.
doesn't. True.
Do you ever fight with your brother? Or?
You used to,
no.
didn't you?
Yeah,
get kids.
we
Yeah.
used to hate each other, but now we're fine. I think.
It's
Yeah,
because you were horrible to him.
yeah, I was actually. But now when I say something stupid to him, he says something smart, like really smart, because he's really smart, and then I just like realize, oh, I'm so stupid, and then I just feel really calm again, because like he's really, how do you say it? Like he's really just smart, you know. He analyzes things so like wow, like mind blowing. So I really admire him as a brother, and he's
Oh,
the
that's
best
good,
brother I
yeah.
could ever
That's the
ask.
way
Oh, that's good,
that's the
yeah.
way he's wired, isn't it? Attention
Yeah.
to detail, very
Yeah.
intrinsic, and we,
So
you know,
smart.
But I mean, I guess you're going to be probably you have the best of both worlds, because you know, you like you say, you've got the fire, you've got the entrepreneurial spirit, you've got the ambition, but you've also got, you know, the Japanese way, and you know, like you said, you really appreciate that people are, you know, good to each other, and
Yeah.
people are calm, and that's it, you know.
Well, she
perfect.
said, you said something last week, didn't you, about Mama? She said, yeah, she's not like you at all. She's just so much better than you. Because because I was always whining about something or
Yeah.
complaining or something. Because they all say all I do is whine and stuff. And I said, well, that's what British people do.
Yeah, we're known for it.
Our hobby is complaining about things all the time. You know, we gotta have a
And
good
there's a lot to complain
we
about.
could have a good whine every day and a good rant about something every day,
Yeah.
but they just don't get it, you know.
No.
And like I always make. She used to get angry all the time because I'd be driving. I always make comments on people on the street. You know, yeah, look at her. She's a bit overweight, isn't she? You know,
Silly cow.
silly cow. You know, I was like, because I get road rage. Not anymore. I used to get road rage. You know, so come on, you silly cow, hurry up, you know. And then so all like so they don't understand any of that. You know, but,
No.
I
Yeah.
love
You've got to
British
keep your
and she
feelings
said,
in check.
Mama is so nice compared to you.
But I love that because I love
But
British.
I'm funny,
people.
aren't
Oh,
I?
they're
Some of my
funny.
comments, they're funny, aren't they?
They-
They're very
yeah.
rude, but they're very funny.
So funny.
Direct.
Yeah.
You know, we love to talk, gift of the gab.
I
And you
love
know, we'll
this
tell it
people.
as it is, you know.
Yeah. I love British humor. So.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I think a lot of people don't get.
But no, they don't.
British
I mean,
humour.
I've got some of my staff, and I say something, and I said to the staff, I said, I'm just joking. And they go, well, it wasn't funny. I said, no, it's not supposed to be funny.
Yeah, there's sarcasm and irony. They just,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
But that's not just in Japan. I mean, American people don't get British
No,
humour. It's
no.
very, very different. And I don't get their kind of humour. You know, it's kind of a slapstick, but not.
We use a lot of sarcasm,
you know,
don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know.
Yeah. It's I must admit I don't really get British. I don't really get Japanese comedy. But do you like Japanese comedy?
Depends on the comedian.
Right. Okay.
We have
That's a good answer.
Yeah. So we have something called banter, yeah.
Yeah.
And we use it all the time.
Yeah.
And this is what you asked me what I miss. I miss banter with my mates.
Yeah,
Now
me too.
I'm on WhatsApp at the moment. We got a group of friends from university, and we're still really close friends.
That's good.
And we haven't made a sensible comment all day.
Yeah.
Right? It's just back and forth banter, like as if we're 18 years old again. You know.
Because you are inside,
yeah.
aren't we?
You know, and it's one guy's just come out of hospital after a double knee transplant or something, and everyone's taking the mickey out of him. You know,
As you do.
saying why are you walking like that? I'd buy you some lycra to go jogging, but they don't produce enough of it in China to fit you. You know, and it's this.
The Japanese people wouldn't laugh at that, but we were.
But we have banter all the time. I miss the banter, you know.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
but yeah, it doesn't exist in Japan.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, you're right. So, how long do you think you will live in Japan, Ian? Do you have any plans to go home, or do you go anywhere else, or to stay in Japan?
You'll die here, don't you?
Well,
Well, that's
I hope not.
Worse,
I hope I
much
don't
worse
die
places
anywhere.
to die.
But yeah, she's right. I've got no desire to go home because my family come and visit me quite regularly, and
that helps, doesn't it?
yeah, and I love the lifestyle here. I love everything about it here, and it would just be depressing to go. I miss pub life, and I miss the banter and things like that. Right?
It's the people, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's people
but-
related.
But those are the things. Only those really. I don't. Otherwise, my quality of life is so much better here,
Right.
and I love the weather.
And why is that,
so-
do you think? Because is
well,
it business related or just personally?
Well, it's cheaper. It's much cheaper to live here than in the UK. As I said, the people are much nicer and politer. The weather is fantastic. The climate is great. The waves are great. So everything for my life is better here than it is in the UK. Although I love the UK and I love Mumbles and I love Swansea, but I wouldn't go back there. I spent 40 years of my life there, and the next 40 years is going to be here. My kids are here. My house is here. My family's here. There's nothing to go back for.
No.
You know?
No.
And I can go back for a holiday anytime I want. And when I retire in the future, I can go back for 3 months if I want. Let's just stay there. You know, but no reason to move back there.
No. No, you might divide more of your time there if you get to the point where you have more
get
time.
to that point, I might too, when I start missing it a little bit. You
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, that's the thing with today, isn't it? You know, we can travel so much more easily and
Yeah, you don't
quickly.
We're at a point now we don't actually have to live anywhere permanently, do you?
No,
I mean,
that's
you can
right,
just
yeah.
move around.
Yeah. Well, many people do, don't they?
I can do online English lessons.
Yeah.
I can do them from
Well,
anywhere
I'm
in the world.
thinking of getting a camper van and just living in that.
I was going to say, I'd love to dream is to take off in my camping car, go down the coast, and just do lessons out of my camping car.
Oh, yeah, if I had a job that I could do out of that, do it tomorrow.
Go surfing every day. You know?
Yeah.
Why not?
Different, that's definitely a goal. So, and what is any interesting stories? Any other interesting stories that you have from Japan? Either of you?
I told mine. You must have some interesting stories.
What's an interesting story? I don't know.
No, I don't think I've got. I can think of at the moment earthquakes and disasters.
Or do you have any interesting stories about when you've been to another country, like when you went to England or?
So recently, my best friend, my Albanian friend, has been trying to kiss me as a joke. And I hate that because I'm Japanese.
Right.
And I just don't kiss anyone. I hug.
Right.
Not more than that.
I mean, you mean as a greeting sort of thing? As kissing as a greeting?
That, and she tries to kiss me on the lips as well, which I always say gay, but when I was in the 4th grade, I went to England and I was in the car with my cousin and her kid, and I was sitting in the front seat, and the kid, her kid was sitting in the back seat, and my cousin said oh Rory, give me a kiss, and they kissed on the lips, which I thought, because I didn't know people do that,
Right.
I thought there was something illegal here. I was I think that's incest. and then my cousin was like, no, this is our culture, and I was like, no, I don't believe you. That's too creepy. I need to get out.
I never did that with parents or anything. you might. I know sometimes I guess we're much more touchy feely maybe than in Japan.
They were little kids, weren't they?
Yeah,
She was
little
very
kids.
little, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's probably.
Yeah, for me,
It's better than kissing dogs and cats on the lips, isn't it?
Oh,
that's
gosh,
gross.
that's
You
gross.
see some people doing that.
Yeah.
No.
That's, thinking about stories and things. When I first came here, it was a bit like the Wild West. Things were very different back in the day. The drink driving rules and parties and stuff. And so it was. I remember one time coming back. I've always had a wagon,
Mm-hmm.
So with a people carrier.
Yeah.
And lots of space in the back. And one of my mates, Johnny Capek, if you're watching, he came over to work here for a year. And Johnny's a legend from Mumbles. And we were coming back from this party, and I was driving, so I hadn't been drinking, and he was. Stopped at traffic lights, and he was sitting on a deck chair, a normal deck chair. I must have had all the seats out of my car, and he put a deck chair behind the driver's seat, and he was sitting there with a bottle of wine, and he was just really comfortable, and I hit the accelerator, and he just went arse over tit backwards, wine all over him, all his food all over him, and me and my father in the front were just rocking, and he was screaming and shouting at us. But we had so many times like that. Remember we used to go to this yakiniku place every Friday night, 100 yen beers, and all the foreigners would go there, and it was like party time. Mm-hmm. And my mate Big Dave, he would have the waiters, because he's a sumo wrestler, massive guy. He would have the waiters, little Japanese waiters. He'd be holding them up there horizontally and spinning them around. Right? And we used to do this every Friday night. He'd be spinning them around like that, and we were going, yeah, come on. It was absolutely Animal House back in those days. It's all changed now. I'm very sensible now, and don't do those things anymore. But it was good. It was good fun. But Japan has changed so much in 25 years.
Yes,
from when I first came here. But there's 101 stories of crazy things like that. And another time coming back from a party, I was thinking the drink driving laws were quite lax, and I disagree totally with drink driving. It's terrible. But back in those days, one of my mates, I was following him after we'd been to this party, and he stopped at traffic lights. 5 minutes later, he's still at the traffic lights.
Oh, no.
I'm going, we had to get out and go and knock on the door. He'd fallen asleep. And I'd say, come on, wake up, we gotta go. It's green. He'd fallen asleep at the traffic lights, And there was as I say, so many stories like that, and a lot of things. When you think back, you think, that was stupid, that was ridiculous. But that was the time, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that now. Don't agree with it. It's really bad.
Sure.
But if I went back to when I was this age in university, the things we did then, oh my God, if my kids did those things, I would be horrified and scared stiff.
And I don't think they would in Japan anyway.
No. So, yeah, it's been good fun, you know. Hopefully the next 20 years will be good fun as well.
Well, let's hope so. Well, that sounds a perfect way to end up with it. Thank you for speaking to us. Anything else you want to say?
Thank you for having us. No.
Anybody who wants to come to Japan, any things you can say to, or maybe a bit apprehensive, or they're not sure, or
people queue a lot here, so remember that.
They're very good at queuing.
Yeah.
Professional queuers in Japan, aren't they? You know. And if you want to come to Japan and you want to learn English, you come to Queen's English School in Meiken.
And soon to be a B&B.
Queen's Education, I'm sure Rui's going to put all the links up there. And yeah, be an Airbnb right near Suzuka Circuit here.
I'll be there.
Barbecues, beer, F1, and everything else that goes with it.
Yep.
Peace.
Great. Bye.